Maxilla, I thought you had to go, man. I thought you had to go, man. We had like 3 people watching something like that. And I gave up on the stream, but I don't have anything else to do right now. Yeah, same here, buddy. Jerry, what's up? How you doing, man? Oh, nice, Maxilla. Yeah, my knives are not organized. They're all piled up in like 3 different plates. Let's see. I got 1 drawer full of nice knives, 1 drawer full of knives that I haven't messed around with in a while. I've got 2 boxes for the graveyard, and I got 1 box for the stuff I haven't looked at yet. Or the stuff I haven't carried yet. The graveyard is a big old box of stuff that we've already done Cardboard Slayer on. Graveyard's a box full of stuff that we've already done Cardboard Slayer on that I'm not planning on carrying again anytime soon. A lot of it is stuff that's like, you know, $15, $20 new. So there's no value in selling it. You know, I might make $5 off of one and then wind up paying shipping. Which at that point, I've earned nothing. I say, because all the nice stuff is upstairs. There's a few nice ones that I like sitting in the graveyard, but for the most part, it's all cheap stuff that no one wants. Yeah, it's the Albatross. We're working on finishing off the live stream on it. Damn it. I'll tell you what, guys. I am looking forward. I counted my days off. It's 11 days off in a row. It's 11 days and then I'm back to work. I'm looking forward to it. I just got to go to work tomorrow. I just got to go to work tomorrow and then I'm good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got the biggest sheepdog they sold. I also can't wait for my test clips to get here. Thanks to Danielle and Zach. Danielle, Clark, Zach, and High Polymer Duck. They cash at me a few bucks, so I was able to get test clips. So huge thanks to those guys. As it turns out, 100 pack of test clips is 29 bucks if you add shipping to the cost. I wish they sold bullet packages. Well, given how fast we burn them up, here, that adds up fast. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, if I could have come out of pocket for it by now, I would have. But I think at the end of June, when the YouTube money comes in, I'm ordering 3 of them instead of 2 like I normally do. Just that way I've got them, and I've got them for a while. Because I got a feeling that it's going to take a couple of 3 months for the channel to earn the next 100 bucks. And I got to try to save up for Blade Show next year so that I can actually go. That's where I really wish YouTube would help pay bills. You know, help pay bills, hang on to some money for Blade Show. One day we'll get there. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. You're good, Maxilla. Like, nobody's expected to do anything. You know, I get enough knives in, or I hit the point where I get enough knives coming in from the companies to get a lot of videos done. That's going to help a hell of a lot. And of course, I've got a feeling the brunt of the rest of the, because like I'm at 200 some odd bucks, a little over 200 bucks for the YouTube payout at the end of next month. And I got a feeling a good chunk of that is going to go towards shipping for the prototypes to get them out to other channels, which I've got Bees Blades and 704 gear willing to take a look at them for us, which is really good. Hang on. We're just going to go with Mapia, unless that P is pronounced as R, which makes more sense. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but I appreciate the kind words. How you doing today? I will try to remember. I will try to remember the other name. Andres. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, I got bored, so I figured it was time to do a live stream. And nobody was online to game with, so here we are. We're doing a live stream. Because I took my cars through emissions. One of them failed. One of them passed. We knew it was going to fail. So we got to wait to dump more money into fixing vehicles. The truck is throwing an evap code, so the check engine light's on. And I've been through Google and looked at all the information that I can find about that code, and nothing helpful is coming up outside of buy a new gas cap. Well, I'm on gas cap number 4, and it's still throwing a code. So, CB, what's up? How you doing? Right now, I'm just playing Fortnite. Ever since Bungie said, haha, fuck you to the people that were paying to play Destiny 2, because I am done paying $60 every 3 months, basically, for the next expansion. And now Destiny 2 servers are going into maintenance mode. I don't have like a main game. I need to pick the Switch back up and play some more Katamari. I really do need to play some more Katamari. I think that may be what I do tonight, is pick the Switch back up and play some Katamari. No, not yet. I haven't gotten any donations yet on this live stream. I normally don't make a whole lot on a live stream. I may be streaming for like 6 hours and make $2. So I'm not really motivated by donations. I appreciate the sparkles, CB. I appreciate the sparkles. Thank you for that. But, you know, this is part of the review cycle. I appreciate the 100. Yep. I'm not sure how much it is. I'll be honest. I don't understand how much it is. I don't understand the conversion rate for those gems. Six, seven. Thank you for that. Joe. Come on. Yeah, like I was saying, like the streams aren't motivated by donations. They're nice when they come in. I would love for the channel to support itself, but thank you for the gold coin, Jerry. You know, what we're doing right now is just part of the review process. You know, this is a knife review channel, and this is part of the review. We're looking at ergonomics. We're looking at how long the edge can hold on against the cardboard. We're comparing it to other knives that we've done in the past. You know, there's a thank you for the party hat. I appreciate it. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into a full review for a knife. And this is our second live stream with this knife. We got a long way into the knife on the first live stream. Austin McGee, what's up? How you doing, man? But we got a long way into the last live stream, but I think we were 7 hours in, something like that, and it was like, it's time for me to drop. We're gonna go with Marco for short, but how you doing, man? This was on Amazon, and the brand is Albatross. I'm doing good, Austin. I got bored and kind of restless, so here we are doing a live stream. And when I had to finish the live stream, I promised everybody I'd be back on Friday. Yeah, no problem, man. If you want to look up this specific knife, it's the FK005. The Albatross FK005. Real catchy name. Yeah, that one didn't have much power behind it. And yes, I do have emotional support caffeine on standby. So once we hit the point where I need it, we're good to go. Anyone else got anything interesting going on? Yeah, Maxilla, I feel you on that. Like I said, the only thing that I've got going on is waiting to get through one more day of work. One more day. Big Block, what's up? Yeah, I know, like, we've hit the quiet part of the stream. Chat's not happening right now. Like, no one's talking in chat, so I have already ran myself out of things to talk about. But how you doing, Big Block? And we don't have my regulars, like, we don't have all of my regulars here yet to keep the chat going either. Like, so we're enjoying the quiet part of the stream. We've reached the ASMR portion of the show. Yeah, and I've got to reshoot a video. So I did a video to upload today on the CCFFCC with the DC53 steel. And I got some background information on what the steel actually is. Which apparently it's similar to D2 with smaller and fewer carbides, and it's supposed to be tougher with similar edge retention, if I understand correctly. Minnesota Picker, what's up? How you doing? Ooh, a case knife event tomorrow, but thank you for the gold coin. I appreciate it. Yeah, at some point I'd like to throw a case knife at Cardboard Slayer just to see how that does. Because I've gotten mixed reviews. I've seen mixed reviews about case knives. Apparently their quality has been slipping for a while. Some people still swear by them, and some people say their quality has been slipping for a while, so they're just not what they used to be. Oh, nice. They're handing out free swag. Patrick, what's up? How you doing, man? Case knives. Case knives. Oh, free knives. That's always nice. But that's what I was saying a few minutes ago, Patrick. I've seen mixed reviews. Some guys still swear by case knives, and they're big fans. And a lot of people also say that cases quality has been slipping, and they're not that good now. They're just kind of coasting on the brand name. Like, the only case knife I've had in my hands, a friend of mine bought as a display piece. A friend of mine bought it as a display piece. And she's not a knife person, and she doesn't carry an EDC knife, so I can't really get much feedback from her on it. Oh yeah, take a look at Rough Rider. Rough Rider makes some quality stuff for just dirt cheap. You know, $10 at Blade Show. Like, normally I'll pick up a few Rough Riders at Blade Show for $10 a pop, and they'll have VG10 or something equivalent to that, and the build quality is really nice. Like, they feel really good in the hand. And like, I'm not a traditional knife guy, mostly because they don't have a... Yeah, Rosecraft also makes some quality stuff. You know, a lot of Rosecraft's modern pocket knife designs are kind of funky. But it's still, the build quality's there, and if you like the funk on them, they're good knives. Like, I need to take a look at my sharpening job on my Rough Rider Wasp. That thing I got at Blade Show like 3 years ago. And I tried to freehand sharpen it. Hey, Woodinator, what's up? How you doing, man? But I tried freehand sharpening it, and that was a long time ago, and I've practiced quite a bit since then. So I've got the hang of getting a sharpening out of a freehand or freehand sharpening to the point where they'll usually shave, but I'm still not getting the kind of numbers I get off of my fixed angle system. I'm still not getting them quite as sharp as my fixed angle system will get them. But, you know, once we've roached this edge out, we're going to put some time in on freehand sharpening this one. See if I can't do a little better than last time. Is that Lucian Lassen? What's up? How you doing? I hope I said that right. I hope I said that right. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'd love to pick up an M16 and try that out, but I guess what's got two thumbs and ain't got money. Rio Bonilla, what's up? How you doing? I hope I got that right. We are doing edge retention testing. We're looking to see how much cardboard we can cut up before the edge of this knife is completely fucking wrecked. And we're also making vegetarian bacon for the local orphanage. Ah, Shane Legs, what's up? It's been a little while since we had someone coming in with that. Me with Knives, what's up? How you doing? I'm trying to get the hang of complete freehand. No guides, no nothing. And most of your guides set you at like 20 degrees, and I want 17 to 18 degrees. An Ontario SP53. I don't have one of those. Yeah, hey, Woodnader, you may end up on eBay. Me with Knives, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I just got a little bored and restless, so here we are doing this. Making vegetarian bacon for the local orphans. Yeah, that's why I'm practicing with what I'm doing, or practicing my freehand sharpening, is just so I can hit that and be confident with my edges and be confident with my knives. Yeah, I've got a Rat 1, a Rat 2, and a Rat 1.5. But, yeah, with my fixed angle system, you know, 17 degrees is no problem. You're just going to be sitting there for a while reprofiling the edge with those small stones. Evil Twin, what's up? How you doing? But, yeah, I want to get them as sharp as my fixed angle system does. Freehand a hell of a lot faster. Come on. Hunter Instruments, what's up? How you doing? I can't read that. But not too much is up, Evil Twin. Just got a little bit restless. Went and did emissions on both of the cars. Went ahead and got truck Norris failed. Joe Garcia, what's up? How you doing, man? But yeah, went ahead and got truck Norris through emissions and failed him, so I could get a temporary tag and pray that we can afford to get it fixed in a couple of weeks here. We should be taking it to the same place that fixed the wife's car to let them look at it and see if they can figure out what the hell's wrong with it and get it fixed and whether or not we can afford it. I am doing good, Joe. I am doing good. I got one more day of work and then I'm off for 11 days. And that's going to be a staycation, which means more live streams, more hanging out with you guys, and hopefully building the channel a little bit more. Well, yeah, and it's an EVAP code, so it's not anything straightforward that I can find an answer for. Like, looking online is no help. Well, Georgia, if you saw pictures of Atlanta before we started doing emissions, you'd understand it. Because Atlanta had that brown cloud over it. And the truck's almost old enough that I won't have to do emissions anymore, but it didn't quite make it over the hump. Right, Gumplin? Unfortunately, electrical tape doesn't cover the OBD2 port. Yeah, I believe a cracked vacuum hose, but I don't know how to chase those down. I don't know, hey Woodnader, that truck is a 2003, and it did spend a couple of years, like 2 years, just sitting and not moving. So it was more than long enough for the battery in there to die, everything else. I wonder. No, we've already done the evap canister purge valve. We've already done the evap canister purge valve. I did that when the check engine light first came on. Yeah, like I said, they'll figure it out. Hopefully it's a small part and nothing too terribly expensive. Hopefully. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, Woodenator. Like, I've got two options. I can take it to a professional and get it fixed the first time, or I can do the thing where you just keep chasing down parts and chasing down parts, and the cost goes farther and farther through the roof until you might as well have taken it to a mechanic to begin with. We tried pulling a code off it. The problem is, like, it's throwing an evap code, but it can't really tell you exactly where the evap code is. It's not an electronic issue. It's a physical parts issue. Riggs, what's up? How you doing, man? It's a 2003 Dodge Ram. So, like, we're almost old enough where we don't have the where we don't have to do emissions. We can register it as an antique car. It's just it didn't make it quite over the finish line. Yeah, and that's the problem. The evap code can be a bunch of different things, and I don't know which one. And that's the thing. It's telling us the evap system has a problem, but not specifically what part of the evap system. The O2 sensor would throw a different code. I am on my 4th new gas cap. YouTube Music Portal, what's up? How you doing, man? I never got the chance to do mushrooms. The Techron's not going to help if there's an evap leak in the truck. Somewhere is leaking. Somewhere in the fuel system is letting the fuel evaporate and leak out of the system. Could be anything. Yeah, we checked the air filter and all that. That's not what it is. That's not going to throw an evap code. But yeah, I'm on my fourth new gas cap. Yeah, you doing good, YouTube Music Portal? Yeah, Riggs, we're testing edge retention and ergonomics. So we are about to finish off 3 hours on the new edge. We tested the factory edge, and we sharpened it and tested it against a 1-inch hemp rope, and now we are on the 17 degrees per side edge that we took up to 3,000 grit and stropped down to 0.1 microns. Yeah, I've got a feeling that a seal or a gasket somewhere dry rotted, or one of the vacuum hoses is dry rotted. Yeah, like I said, we'll get answers. We'll get answers in a couple of weeks here. We got a few bucks coming in from the wife's pension, and we'll be able to take it and get it looked at then. Tell baby what's going on. How you doing? Yeah, no, it sounds like the gas cap, but I'm on my fourth new gas cap. Like, I've done 4 gas caps so far, and I've cleaned off the end of the filler neck. Well, there you go, Toe Baby. Yeah, like I said, I put a gas cap on. I cleared the code. I took the battery, disconnected the battery, and put 120 miles on it. The code was back the same day. Did my next gas cap, cleared the code, came right back on. Did the next gas cap, cleared the code, came right back on. Did the 4th gas cap, cleared the code, came right back on. I don't think it's a gas cap. I haven't been to the mechanic yet. Hey, Woodnader, I haven't been to the mechanic with it yet. It's throwing an evap code, Toe Baby. It's throwing an evap code, which could be one of a million different things, and I've got no idea what it is. Personally, my money's on a dry rotted line somewhere. It's an '03 Dodge Ram 1500. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Toe Baby. It could be a million things. Yeah, no, woodworking, like there's a lot of in-person classes you can go to at like Rockler and Woodcraft. Yeah, the knife community is much more niche than the woodworking community. A lot more people carry knives, but a lot less people care about the don't care about knives. They're just carrying a tool. You know, they're not out in the weeds with the hobby. Rigs, no, it's D2. The steel is D2. But we have cleared the end of hour number 3 doing this with it. So we're about to stop and check the edge. Yeah, if you get into it and you get in the zone, man, working on the lathe can be a lot of fun. All right. Let's dig the forbidden moonshine out. Regular D2. The knife cost me 13 bucks. It was on sale. It cost me 13 bucks on Amazon. I think the regular price is like 23 or 27 bucks, which is a bit too expensive for this thing, but the D2 has been doing really good. Definitely Chinesium D2. We should be in the 400s. $461. All right, so it's acting exactly like D2 with a good heat treatment. Hey, Woodinator, it's the same Albatross FK005 from the last live stream. We're still trying to finish this one off. It's just the last live stream hit the 7-hour mark, and it's like, all right, my kid's here. I gotta go. All right, give it about 5 minutes and we'll get going again. We should be looking at about 2 more hours. We should be looking at about 2 more hours of cutting before the edge is completely roached out. Oh, what you buying here, Woodinator? Gotcha, hey, Woodinator. Go on. So this is either a grail or something really nice, huh? Hey, Woodinator. Gotcha, hey, Woodinator. Well, best of luck. Hopefully your sale goes through when you get it picked up. Yeah, hopefully you get that thing picked up. Yeah, hopefully next stream will be soon. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, expected delivery Tuesday. Yeah, thankfully I've got a backlog of stuff I haven't carried yet, and thanks to 704 gear, I keep getting more stuff to look at right now, which is a huge help. Cause I got two more knives from 70 gear to check out. 704 gear. So we will be checking those out, but maybe not right away because we've done a lot of 704 gear recently. Yeah, I wonder how hard it's going to be to get like a good video done about footwear. But you probably already got that handled. Ew, AI, gross. Yeah, about the only time I use AI, well, really the only time I use AI is when I'm at work and I have to look something up. And the only way to look it up is through our AI system. I should have done an AI knife review back when AI was doing the real weird shit and hadn't quite figured out shit like hands and faces. The Devs 98, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, hey Woodnader, I know. And just think about that for a minute. In 1996, a good knife comparable to something that costs $20 now would have cost you like 50 or 60 bucks. Eh, light trolling at best. Yeah, I guess we're on different sides of the same coin because my thoughts are like what would have been considered a super steel knife back then is now a budget knife. Like, you look at how the cheapest knives on the planet are using 440 steel now. Back then 440 used to be a super steel. That used to be the high end shit. No, you're right, Riggs. Like, oh yeah, your dollar went a lot further. But, you know, the cost of some knives is definitely just vastly inflated for no other reason than they can do it because of their brand name. Spyderco. Benchmade. But on the other side of that coin, there's a lot of knives that are just as good for way cheaper. Yeah, you know, I will say, Benchmade makes some quality stuff. It's not like they're pumping out just absolute garbage. It's just, you can get a knife that's just as good for half the cost, and usually with higher end steel. Like, you look at the cost of a Hogue Deca when you can catch those on sale for about $105 versus the Benchmade bug out. They're both doing the same job, but you get MagnaCut instead of S30V. And you know, it's like not quite, but it's pushing near half the cost of a bug out. Like, a bug out should be $100 knife. Like today, a bug out should be $100 knife. You know, given where steel has been pushed, and given how old the design is, it should be a $100 knife. I don't know, having handled my bug out and carried it a little bit and kind of had some hands-on with it, I'd say it's worth $100. Yeah, I know Benchmade had a budget line for a while, and I don't know why they shut it down. Like, I don't know that much about it. And you know what, Riggs? I'm not going to bash you for that. You know, as a YouTube channel and needing to maintain the channel's integrity, you know, I can never recommend clones or counterfeits, but I'm not going to bash you for it. Yeah, Rat 1.5 is going, or when I bought mine was like $85, and that's in MagnaCut steel. You know, it's not a direct one-to-one competitor with the bug out, but still. Yeah. No, the butterfly tax is real. You know, I got my Benchmade Bug Out CF Elite for 140 bucks, and that was like top dollar. And that's because I specifically wanted a bug out. Yeah, that being said, Cold Steel prices their shit way more reasonably than Spyderco or Benchmade. Yeah, if you like your stuff overbuilt and you like good value for your dollar, Cold Steel is the place to go. Does Fiskars do pocket knives? Why doesn't Fiskars do pocket knives? That would be something. I'd like to see that. Because I know Fiskars does machetes and axes. Oh no, like these are still pretty clean cuts. Like we're about halfway through the life of the Edge, and yeah, most people don't need anything past D2. I mean, for fuck's sake, most people don't need anything past 8CR13. But the biggest difference between the cuts now and the cuts right after we sharpened it is it's taking more pressure to push the knife through most of the cuts. Civivi is owned by WE Knives, I believe. Yeah, Jerry, Civivi makes some good stuff. Like Civivi, Kaiser, Vosteed. Like that's the problem is, you know, And a lot of it is yeah, DeWalt and Milwaukee probably aren't going to be making any great knives anytime soon. They're probably going to be a lot like Smith & Wesson, where it's like it's just the brand name and it's more of a novelty with the name slapped on it. Yeah, I believe Outdoors 55 just did a video on the Milwaukee Fastback. Bong It Transplant, what's up? How you doing, man? I am doing good, man. I'm doing good. Got a little bit restless, so I figured it was a good time for a live stream. Yeah, like the only Kershaws I've handled are their bottom of the barrel budget knives, and man, those are bottom of the barrel. Oh, very cool, man. Yeah, I love sharpening. I'm just not as good at it as I want to be yet. I've been relying on my fixed angle system and taking my sweet time about it, so it might be 45 minutes or an hour for one sharpening. As opposed to 5-10 minutes on sharpening stones. Yeah, like I said, all I've handled is Kershaw's bottom of the barrel budget stuff. And man, that is absolute bottom of the barrel. It is some trash. Considering what you can get for pretty much the exact same price elsewhere, you know, from like any no-name Chinese brand, just trash. And I think the problem with Kershaw and Gerber is they're still making their budget knives like it's 20 years ago, when the industry has moved on and technology has moved on, and they haven't really kept up with it. At least that's how I feel about it. But maybe one day they'll realize and they'll catch up. This is just like Smith and Wesson. For the same price of a Sterilite, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, we haven't heard that a million times. But, you know, Smith & Wesson will put their name on absolute fucking trash. Yeah, that's it. Smith & Wesson will put their name on absolute trash and send it when they could be charging the same money for decent quality stuff. For decent quality stuff that would actually help their brand out in the knife community. Like if they turned it around and started producing or at least putting their name on decent knives, you know, I think they could really be a big hit in the community. But knives from gun companies are trash. Yeah, so VV is just a great first knife. My oldest kid is starting to tiptoe into knives. They're dipping their toes in the pool right now. So I handed them off. They now have my Spyderco Tenacious. There we are. Words are hard. Yeah, Hogue is definitely an exception. Yeah, I think I've heard about Beretta. I think I've heard Beretta's name dropped when we have this conversation on a semi-regular basis from guys that know more of the history about older stuff. Luke P, what's up? How you doing? But guys that know about older stuff will mention Beretta. Yeah, I'm not allowed to become a snob. You know, given the channel's focus on budget knives and stuff that's under 50 bucks, around 50 bucks or less, I'm not allowed to be a snob. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'd carry when traveling, but it definitely wouldn't be one of my premium knives. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely would not be one of my premiums. Yeah, the drop bears are sweet. The drop bears are sweet. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Jen about producing a kit on an Axis lock, and they were asking for recommendations for what to compare to and what to shoot for good action. And I mailed them a drop bear. I haven't gotten my hands on a Sugarov. I know I've heard the name, but I haven't had a chance to handle one. Oh, Rio, you were just here, weren't you? Yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to check out some more expensive stuff and really look at the occasional premium knife. We have looked at a couple of nicer Spydercos. You know, somebody wanted me to check out Rex 121 steel, so they bought and sent Sage 5 and Rex 121, and they sent some Manix 2s and 15V, and I can't remember the other one now. I appreciate the kind words, Rio. Yeah, I'm happy to have that Sage in the collection. The Manixes, the only problem I've got with the Sage is I'm not a big fan of the lock on it. Like that compression lock, if you're doing a lot of cuts with it, that compression lock tears up this part of your hand real bad. Uh-oh. $77, what's up? How you doing, man? You making some glass right now? Yeah, if I could only keep one knife, I'm not sure what I'd do. Ground fog, what's going on, man? But Yep, groundhog again. But if I could only carry one for the next 6 months, I'd be grabbing my Devo Growler. Devo makes some good shit. I wish I had the money to keep up with Devo whenever they drop something. We have got the same albatross knife from the last live stream, 77. We're trying to finish this off. But, as I was saying, I wish I had the money to keep up with Devo on their drops, or at least had a working relationship with Devo. That way, I could take a look at stuff when it comes out or before it comes out. But I don't have that right now. I think the last Devo I bought was the Growler XL. As a matter of fact, the Devo Growler is the reason I've got a thumb hole on my knife design with a gin. Like I tried to I tried to work some of the elements of the Growler into my design. Hence the shape of the front end of the drop point. And the thumb hole. It's called the I Guess So bong hit. Matter of fact, let me go get it. I'll be right back. coming back. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Okay. So here's the prototype of my design. And yeah, gently fondle the like button. Yeah, and it's going to come as a kit. When you buy the knife, you get a kit and you put it together yourself. It's a flat grind. I wanted it to be extra slicey, so we did a flat grind on it. Yeah, if you check out Jin, Jin, on Amazon, they make knife kits. They're the guys that are producing the I Guess So. I'd say their best kit right now is the Rhino. This is their best kit right now. This thing is fucking awesome. But yeah, like, we got to go through getting these prototypes in the hands of other YouTube channels, preferably channels that are larger than mine. I know I've got Bees Blades and 704 Gear willing to check them out. I've got Weld and Carry and Dark Water that are also willing to take a look at it. And the guy that helped me design it and did all the 3D rendering for the I Guess So needs to get his hands on his prototypes and send them out wherever he's going to send them. And then once everything is finalized, it'll be about 3 months before they're on Amazon. And I think the best thing about it is it's going to be the price point that I want it to be at is $40, 40. So just about anybody can buy one. Oh, Kale Bunny, nice. The steel is 9CR18. I would have gone with D2, but I have gotten a shitload of bad D2 lately. A shitload of bad D2 with a bad heat treatment. So I went with 9CR18 instead. Partly because I like 9CR18, and the other part of that is because it's easy to sharpen and it takes a crazy good edge. It takes a crazy edge. But the timeline on the I guess so, we don't have an official timeline yet. We got to make it through the prototype phase, and then it'll be about 3 months after everything is finalized. I don't know how much I want to screw around with having my name on 440. I know 440C can be some good stuff, but at that point, you might as well just be doing 9CR18. Yeah, I feel like it's worth 40 bucks. I mean, it's a little bit overbuilt. Damn, KO Bunny, I wish I had 1,300 bucks because my ass would be a Blade Show. Yeah, I think Jen had 4 different steels that they work with, and 9CR18 was one of them. Like I've had some of Jen's D2 in the past, and the D2 was just fine. Their D2 was just fine. But I'm still a little bit gun shy with D2. You know, that's part of why we do this testing here. Because edge retention can tell you quite a bit about the heat treatment on it. Yeah, that depends on which 440 you get. Yeah, and of course, I'm looking at, you know, good edge retention versus cardboard. Good edge retention versus cardboard. So the factory edge angle should be coming in at 18 degrees instead of 20 or 22. And we got that sweet, sweet flat grind. Oh, man. It's going to be good. Slump Game Proper, what's up? How you doing, man? Which Spyderco did you get? No, not even 20. Like I said, this thing is going to be aimed at what most of us are doing with it. Breaking down boxes, popping tape on packages, stuff like that. mean, that's just like with all knives. If you want a different edge bevel, you can put one on there, and going from 18 degrees to 20 degrees is a lot easier than going 20 degrees to 18 degrees. Don't ask how I know. The Tenacious is a good knife. It's just overpriced. Unless you got a lemon. No, so if you've got a wider angle on your knife before you hit the bevel, you've got to take all this steel off before you get to where your final bevel is going to be. Whereas if you've got a narrower angle, you've only got to take off the steel right here to get to a more obtuse edge angle. Sans, what's up? How you doing? If you're reprofiling the entire edge and reprofiling the bevel too, then yeah, you're taking off about the same amount of steel. But if you're just trying to put a quick 20-degree edge on it, then you've got a micro bevel on your bevel. Oh, I'm doing good, Sans. I'm doing good. Yeah, if you're reprofiling the entire bevel, either going from and even then you're still removing less steel going from 18 degrees to 20 degrees than going 20 to 18. Like, you're still removing less steel. Oh yeah, I've got a Puma. I got a Puma print. It belonged to my uncle before he passed away, so I haven't messed with it yet. Like, I haven't. I don't want to lose it or damage it. Yeah, I believe Puma is German. But yeah, one thing that you may have run into with your Spyderco, with your Tenacious, is there's a tendency to get an edge where it's like 20 degrees on one side and 23 degrees on the other. And an obtuse angle like that with mismatched bevels doesn't seem to hold an edge for nearly as long as one with clean matched bevels. So you may need to sharpen it and reprofile it to get rid of the factory edge on it and put something on there that'll hold up for a lot longer. Yeah, Estwing has one knife where the scales are basically the same as the hammer handle that I want. But the last time I looked at it on Amazon, it was gone. Yeah, I need to check Amazon again and see if that Estwing is back in stock. I haven't handled old cases, so I don't know enough about the old case knives to really be a fan or have an opinion. If I had some experience handling them, I could give you more feedback on it. You know, we had been talking about that earlier today. I've seen a lot of people say that cases quality has been dropping over the last few years, and they're basically selling borderline crap knives with the case name on them. And again, I don't have any experience handling them, so I don't know if that's true. That's just what I've seen from a lot of people online. I'll see you later.
See you, baby.
Love you.
Garage door.
Yeah. So I don't know enough about case knives to really Well, you're not going to harden a knife in an oven. Well, the problem with hardening it is you're going to have to go through the entire quench and temper cycle again. And with the knife being at final thickness, there's a really good chance it's going to warp or shatter. And then you still have to grind it back to get rid of all the martensitic formation that you have on the blade if the quench was done right. The reason you've never seen or heard of anyone doing that is because it's damn near impossible with a finished knife. Yeah, it was definitely annealing it, which is not going to make it harder. It's going to make it softer. Well, either that or he just didn't give a shit about it. I mean, you got to think about it. He's not just sticking the blade in there. He's sticking the whole knife in there. I got a feeling either he did it for no good reason or just didn't give a fuck. Oh, I've seen knives like that, and I would have knives that were sharpened down that far if I wasn't carrying a brand new knife every week. Like, if I wasn't carrying a brand new knife every week, I'd probably have some that were sharpened down to absolute nubs. All right, let's break out the Forbidden Moonshine. So this is an electronic edge sharpness tester. It gives us a rough idea where the edge is sitting. Yeah, it measures the amount of force. The lower the number, the better. We got a 634, which is devastated edge territory. That's more reasonable. No, this knife is like 27 bucks. This one was like 27 bucks. We should get at least another, we don't have another one in line to start on today. We may just dick around with a, I'm tempted to dick around with this thing. The counterfeit Medford. This is a counterfeit Medford knife. It's the only counterfeit that I'm okay with buying. We got it from Temu. No, we didn't already test the counterfeit Medford, but at that point it's just screwing around because I'm not featuring a counterfeit in a main video. Yeah. Just for fecal matter and mirth. Yeah, I've heard about that OTF Smith & Wesson. I've heard some people say it's decent. No, I'm not saying we won't cut some cardboard with it. It's just I'm not doing a follow-up video or a regular video on it. I forget what because that should be a counterfeit Medford Praetorian. I forget what they cost. I forget what a real Medford Praetorian would cost, but they're not cheap. Yeah, I've got a Schrade Viper OTF. It's a single action that I don't like all that much. And then I got a Lightning OTF that I would like, but it's a knockoff Microtech Scarab. Just a guest, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Oh, thanks, just a guest. Yeah, I'm still really excited. Like, I have carried the prototype for the last week. You know, I've carried the prototype. I've done my my thoughts on the prototype as a whole. I really like this thing. There's not much that I really want to change on it. Username, what's up? How you doing? SOG. SOG makes one of my all-time favorite budget knives. But a lot of their knives have design features that are not fucking necessary. Thank you for that, Slump Game. Yeah, it feels really good. It feels just a little bit overbuilt. It feels really smooth. Illumined, what's up? But like the SOG Flash AT is a great example. It's got a safety that they put in the worst possible place. It chews your hand to shit whenever you're doing a lot of cuts with it. And then you've got an axis lock that doesn't work like an axis lock on a knife with a really, really, really fucking strong assisted open spring. And it's a really weird assisted open spring. And it's like trying to close that one-handed on a spring that strong with the axis lock, the way you got to hold it. A pain in the ass, and the knife wants to shoot out of your hand without actually closing. And it's got the strongest detent in the history of detents. Now, the Terminus XR, the SOG Terminus XR, I fucking love that thing. But yeah, like a knife with some weight to it, it depends on the knife. Some knives I like because they're really lightweight. Some knives, the weight feels good on them. And then sometimes a knife is just way the hell too heavy. We've hit the ASMR portion of the stream. I've wanted to make a knife from an old file. I've got the equipment to do so, but I don't have the right files floating around. And I haven't had a strong enough desire to be in the shop, although that itch is starting to come back. But I think my first project back in the shop is going to be a tomahawk made out of a hammer. And I'm not that great at making knives. I've made some cool shit, but the knives I've made have been kind of meh at best. All right, Jerry, we'll see you later, man. Guys, I may have to break into the emotional support caffeine soon. This thing is still going pretty strong, you guys. Chat, where'd you go on me? Did you buy your mystery knife? Did you buy your mystery knife? Are you still waiting on that? Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, hey, Woodinator, I don't have an answer for you. Because I can go either way. I try to not let FOMO get the better of me, especially on the kind of budget that I'm on. I try to not let FOMO get the better of me. Now, that being said, I definitely don't buy stuff for clout. Do you deserve your shoe pudding? Yeah, now we can definitely see where the edge is starting to let go. Well, you're only kicking the nuts there is you're probably not going to get another shot. You're probably not going to get another shot at picking it up for 75 bucks. How much is it going to bother you if you don't go for it? Yeah, I don't have a convenient answer for you. What's up, Punisher? How's it going, man? Gotcha. Yeah. We've been at it for a couple hours now. I think we are 2.5 hours into this live stream. So by our standards, we just started, but you know, we're still trying to finish off the edge on the albatross. James Dillon, what's up? How you doing, man? Welcome. Well, James, what we're doing is edge retention testing. We're looking to see how much cardboard we can cut up with this knife right here before the edge is completely fucking wrecked. And we are approaching completely wrecked. Yeah, this is, you stumbled across a knife review channel, and this is part of the review process. Yeah, I mean, I would go ahead and get it now, but it's, that's just me. I've missed out on really good deals on stuff like that because I took too long to pull the trigger. All right. Me with Knives, what's up? How you doing? Treat yourself. Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta go to work tomorrow. And then I'm off for like 11 days. Cannot fucking wait. I'd say the edge is toast. Brando, what's up? How you doing? But yeah, looks like we are finished with this bad boy. All right. Fuck. It's probably going to be about time to end the stream in a few minutes here. I have got to go fucking crash out for a while. That being said, the next live stream we do will probably be some freehand sharpening and screwing around with that. So we can sharpen this thing and see how we can do with it. It did good, man. 4 hours and 40 minutes on the new edge. Yeah, and until next time, Illumin. Yeah, I woke up early to go do emissions and all that and make sure I got it done without going back to sleep and sleeping through the DM or the tag office closing. Yeah, that's about right for D2. That's right in the ballpark for good D2. Later, me with knives. Yeah, and I gotta go eat something. I gotta go eat something and go back to sleep for a while. All right, Punisher, we'll see you later, man. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up right here. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, Duck. Thank you again, man. Thank you again. Yeah, it wasn't Nader. No worries. Don't worry, Duck. We may be back later tonight if I get restless again. But I have got to go crash out for a while. I got to eat something and take a nap. All right. Yep. Y'all take care. I'll see you later.